Hello, everyone. Today is Saturday, October 30th, 2021 at 8:03 a.m. um, well, I'm yeah, I don't know if I'll try to see about um if they have any extra work left today. I don't know, but I definitely I got something important to do though. So I might have to just maybe wait till next week to try to go and maybe work or whatever next weekend or something. But let's see, Wednesday is the day that you know I can renew my phone data and everything, but I'm almost out of my phone data. But because here the Wi-Fi sucks really bad. But it worked somewhat good the night before last. So, wow. Depression seems like it can really ruin your physical health. I mean, even if you're not depressed, like if a person is, homeless on the streets, they can't get to do stuff like shower every day and brush and comb their hair and brush their teeth all the time and stuff. And, of course, at public libraries, they have rules against that, so. And then they give you a short, allotted amount of time at day centers, homeless day centers and stuff. So it's very hard for a homeless person to get to for a homeless person to get their hygiene. But even if you do have a place and you suffer depression, it's like a person feeling too depressed to do things, but they gotta force themselves. Like if you suffering depression and you don't get a bath for a week or 2 weeks because you're so depressed, or you don't comb your hair, or you don't brush your teeth because of being depressed from narcissistic abusers. And I talked about this, recently, about how narcissistic abusers will cause you emotions like depression, anxiety, and all these, and then when they keep on abusing you all this long, or dealing with bullies and stuff, they abuse you all this long. And then because you've been feeling this way for a long time, then the doctors make more money off of saying you have a depressive disorder, and they make it like you have to be trapped in this system for a long time. And then they blame everything on anxiety. But a lot of times it's hard, or sometimes impossible, for a person to break away from an abusive environment. And then when they go somewhere, it's it's more difficult. I mean, they go somewhere else. I mean, even if it's to move to a different city and state away from that abusive person. But then somebody is narcissistic enough that they, with the proxy abuse, they have everybody stalking. I mean, you wonder how the hell in a different city and state they have everybody stalking and spying on you and tracking you, you get a new phone number, they do the same thing. I mean, they still can get you. And it seems like you basically have no escape from your abuser, your chief abuser. So that can lead people, and even dealing with bullying, that can lead people into, depression or anxiety and stuff like that. And, so it's like when I was being bullied by fake TI perps and regular perps earlier this year and was made back homeless on the streets after being in the the extended stay hotel for 3 months. And then I ended up feeling depressed. And then of course, narcissistic abusers, they bully you, and then they want to insult you about your weight and call you greedy and everything. And so feeling depressed and being on the streets, I ate my regular meals, but I also resorted to eating ice cream almost, not every single day, but almost every day. To try to cope and try to make myself feel better. And, if you post a picture of a nice meal one time, people think this is how you eat all the time. Or they think that you always eating expensive, fancy meals. But, and even with the money that you worked for. So then, narcissistic perps think that you mismanage your money. Like regular narcissistic abusers, they always think that the victim, you mismanage your money, you don't spend wisely. And they try to dictate and control how you spend your money and try to keep meticulous track of, how you spend your money and everything. And basically try to control you and make it like you owe them an answer for what you did with your money. And they don't even care about you, and they're trying to destroy you, and they just want to keep you in fear and, keep you under control. But they don't do this because they love you or care about you. And you're missing out a lot on life dealing with these control freaks. So, I personally do not owe a bunch of internet strangers on, how I manage my money or how I spend my money. But they might be like, see, she's guilty right here. See, she spends her money really bad, and and then turn around, she throw away her money and then turn around and be begging for help and stuff, which is not the case. So you really don't understand what somebody's going through unless you were in their shoes. But people think they can judge from the outside. I have a job and still being told, oh, you're lazy and don't want to work by online perps. But people at my job, like certain times, some people be like, they make it like when I was at the YMCA, they made it like as if I was working too hard. And so, or some people be like, well, you work too slow and you need to speed it up. But, if somebody say, oh, you don't have to do all that, just cut corners. But, I guess the OCD in me and being scared of getting in trouble, I be trying to make sure I got everything or that everything is, done a certain way. you know, so so it's like, you know, I have a job, and online strangers can dictate that I'm not allowed to spend money on a fancy meal once in a while. And they think you're just greedy and obsessed with food, and try to dictate and control what you should eat, when they straight up tell you that they hate you and don't like you. And they will tell you without shame that they don't like you and that they hate you and they wish you would die. So why should I accept advice from these people, so-called common sense advice from these people? So you know, being depressed and, you know, eating ice cream after being you know, thrown out of the motel. I mean, that I keep saying motel. I'm at a motel now, but at the extended stay hotel, I ended up you know, eating ice cream, and like $3 the $3 ice cream, you know. and so then I end up I was eating some chicken wings, and they're extra crispy and hard. So I think that kind of messed up my tooth. And then I had tooth pain. And then it's like, because I was watching a video of an online person who was a TI turned perp, or a fake TI perp, you know, saying brush your teeth and comb your hair, and, you know, bullying me through her YouTube videos. And then, you know, the moment she said brush your teeth and comb your hair, that's when, that instant, my tooth started to hurt. So that made me wonder, damn, is that witchcraft or what? So, but I didn't have tooth problems or my tooth hurting or anything. But then after a while, it went away, the pain. And then it came back. And I think it was 2 days before, or exactly the first day I started working at Seville Quarter in June. And my first day there, you know, everybody was saying I was working so hard and working so good and everything. And I worked, not consistently, but I remember I worked like 12 hours that day. Or no, it was like 11 hours or something. 11 or 12 hours that day. And they paid me in cash the next day, so that was a great big help. I made over $100 in one day. And so my tooth was hurt. My left side of my mouth was hurting that day. And then as the evening progressed, the tooth pain got worse and worse and worse. But I wanted to continue working, so I wouldn't have to beg or panhandle. And my mouth was hurting so bad. And then I would have tooth pain so bad I couldn't sleep, and then feel like a very sensitive on the left side of the left side of my head and everything. Feeling so sensitive to touch, and like a painful numb kind of pain on the left side of my head, mainly at night. And I've tried oil pulling, and I've tried, you know, natural remedies, and I was trying to clove powder and turmeric, and that didn't seem like it helped. But the clove powder seemed like it helped for a short time, but then come back. So my employer, I don't know if they paid for it or if it really was free. Well, I didn't have to pay for it. I got 2 dental visits, and the first time they did X-rays, and they said that the dentist was saying that, oh, your teeth look better than mine and stuff like that. But then the second time, I mean, they had me take antibiotics, which I was actually against, but I was desperate. And I had also the second time I was kept asking them about certain things about my teeth and stuff, and they said everything is fine. And so I know this might be considered a bad idea, but when they said that everything was fine, then I stopped taking the antibiotics. And I think that was when I started to feel really sick. And I had to skip work a couple of days, and I just wasn't feeling, I was so sick. And so the second visit she had, that was after the first visit when they gave me antibiotics and told me I had to get X-rays. But it's like the second time she got rid of a lot of tartar buildup on my teeth that I didn't realize I had. She said it was a lot of tartar but a little bit of plaque. And I haven't seen a dentist since like 2006 because of my insurance. If you're over 21, last I knew, I don't know if rules changed because I don't even see mainstream doctors anymore and try to do things naturally. But my circumstance and my situation is one of the reasons why I can't get to eat as healthy. So due to the fact that I no longer have that job, I don't even know if my employer would have smear campaigned me to that dentist. So that's why I'm afraid to try to go back. And I don't know how much I would be charged if I were to try to go back to that dentist and try to get this abscess removed. Because it wasn't until, I guess, mid-August, I ended up with this actual abscess in my mouth. And I remember the tooth pain was so bad, all I was able to do was drink smoothies and couldn't even eat grits because even the grits seemed like it was too hard. So I couldn't chew anything. And it was miserable, a very miserable moment. So I guess my dumbass didn't realize from 2010 when I was very depressed and I went at least 2 months without eating. And then I nearly died. Or I don't know what the hell could have happened to me that day. And I guess my body went into starvation mode. And then I ate 2 pints of Bluebell ice cream per day. And that's all I was eating for 2 weeks. And then after that, my teeth were so loose that I could have been bald mouth by now. And so that was back in 2010. And so then then I went back to eating like normal. And my teeth, I didn't do natural health or anything, but my teeth healed got back to normal after a while. But that was a very scary moment. But remember, I told y'all back in 2010 I was on Cymbalta and Doxepin and stuff like that for psychiatric medications, and I was eating like almost entire sheets of cake and stuff like that, and my teeth weren't even affected by that. So I'm confused. So I mean, I know I need to break away from. I was saying I need to cut, break away from sweets anyway and stuff like that. But people say that sugar has the effects on your brain like cocaine, like mainly the white sugar. But a couple of nights ago, maybe 2 or 3 nights ago, out of desperateness, I tried to take I know I wasn't supposed to do this, but try to take a safety pin. I mean, not a safety pin. Yeah, safety pin. And try to poke my abscess with it. And when it started to bleed, I got scared. I was scared of a medical emergency, or scared I was going to die or something. But I went and brushed my teeth and swished my mouth with the my salt water solution with baking soda and bentonite clay, and it helped get a nice bit of mucus out. Plus it quickly, almost instantly healed the bleeding and stuff. But it's like last night the abscess felt like it got a little bigger. So by me being depressed and stuff, if I slack off, the abscess start to grow and get bigger. But if I stay on it, I can tell it shrinks and gets smaller. But I'm kind of scared because afraid of accidentally swallowing that saltwater solution. Or like right now, my mouth feels numb. My mouth feels numb right now from the still wake up the next morning and my mouth feels numb, like my tongue and everything feels numb from the salt water stuff, But I was scared, wondering if I overdid it. But I didn't swallow any, but it's hard trying to rinse a lot out. And so I figure, what if I just stay do the safe method and just do freaking coconut oil and oil pulling, if I just stick to doing that. But I heard that takes a lot longer though. But I never experienced it until around my birthday, that me and my twin sister's birthday, that I can get a lot of, it's like I'm pretty much vomiting mucus after I finish oil pulling, but it's a lot that comes out. So I need to try to go back to try to get into that habit and that routine of oil pulling. And I noticed that I think I was a little slimmer over the summer, but now I feel like after starting this job, I can see in my face I look like as if I gained weight. But last I checked, I weighed myself a couple of weeks ago and I was like 266. But my face looks fatter. And I've been drinking those cold pressed juices along with my breakfast. But for lunch I eat the school lunch. And so I try to have like those pre-made dinners from Publix and bring them to work during quote unquote lunch break, but it's actually dinner time, to eat. So I figured that maybe I need to eat more fresh, whole fruits and vegetables. And I need to clean. I mean, if it's supposed to be purpose for me to stay here longer, for me to try to get the refrigerator and the freezer and microwave cleaned out. But I'd be scared all the time because of never knowing if or when I'll end up, losing my job and end up back homeless again. So that's why I've just been living week by week rather than, trying to get too comfortable. Because the moment you get targeted individual gets comfortable, that's when everything is snatched away. So I'm scared to get comfortable with staying here, for a long time or at the job for a long time. But if it does work out, then that'll be good, But other than that, I just gotta play everything day by day, because you never know what these perps plan. That when you're doing really good at work or whatever, and then that next thing you know, they look for an excuse to get your job snatched away, or your your roof over your head snatched away, while they're living comfortably. And people say, well, gang stalkers gotta eat too. They got kids to feed and they gotta survive. Well, you don't think, but then you think it's okay for them to get paid to destroy us. Well, why don't they say we targeted individuals gotta eat too, and we gotta make our money, we gotta survive and stuff? But oh no, she's scamming. So what the hell? So I'll see y'all.